Place identity is the characteristics of any cultural landscape which users draw on in constructing their personal and social identities. These characteristics vary from local vernacular, landmark buildings or landscape features to certain foods and smells or rituals. The urban fabric is full of various features, symbols and icons that contribute to a plurality of meanings. Almost every environmental feature has meaning associated with it. These place-based meanings form the glue that binds people to place. As such, place identity can be defined as the contribution of place attributes and meanings to one's self-identity. Bournemouth Gardens represent a vital and popular green space stretching from approximately 3 kilometres north of the Dorset coastline, winding through Bournemouth town centre down to the seafront. The gardens attract a diverse mix of people, from young and old residents of varying affluence and cultural background, to the temporary student, to the flocks of tourists that bring new energy each summer. The gardens take on a variety of forms and meanings to this plethora of users, raising the question: are the gardens a tourist attraction for the benefit of the economy, or are they a space for the local resident to enjoy? The gardens contribute to creating a lively place full of activity and excitement, almost guaranteed to draw people in. The sense that city space is inviting and popular creates a meaningful place. Seating spaces encourage social interaction. Steps and structures are used throughout the gardens as places to rest and to chat. Both residents and tourists use the gardens for picnicking, socialising and spending time with friends and family. The formation and strengthening of these social ties creates a sense of belonging and place association. Levels of activity vary across the 3 kilometres of garden space, reflecting the division of the gardens into 3 zones. Area 1, the upper gardens, are more natural and wild. The planting and widening paths create varying degrees of enclosure and elements of surprise, reflecting theories of design developed by Gordon Cullen. Area 2, or the central gardens, are a place for fitness, walking and relaxing with friends. Landscaping still contains an element of the naturalistic upper gardens, yet provides more formal open spaces for socialising. Area 3, or the lower gardens, are full of activity, excitement and chatter, more manicured in style than the other 2 areas, with a variety of seating options. Whilst different to one another, each of the 3 zones is tied together by the stream that runs through the centre of the gardens and by the consistency of trees and shrubbery. These 3 garden zones reflect the multifaceted nature of urban life, combining a mix of spaces, uses and experiences, ensuring versatility and a wealth of experience that attracts a variety of users. The edges of the gardens vary within the 3 zones, transitioning from residential dwellings to shops, cafes and entertainment venues to the seafront. The edges make a vital contribution to the garden space and define the different areas, creating various ambiances. Edges remain open along the entirety of the gardens, inviting people in. Properties face onto the gardens, demonstrating the attractiveness of the space to local residents. And the road and footpath network connects to the gardens, creating an accessible and permeable space. New development along the edge of the lower gardens brings a different element to the space. The new cinema is contemporary in architectural style, and food outlets are the same as in any other urban area. This is the start of the erosion of the unique character of Bournemouth. The seafront edge is alive with people throughout the year. Bournemouth is a well-known seaside town, a destination in its own right. So do people visit the gardens for the gardens themselves, or as a safe, accessible and attractive route to take to reach the seafront? The gardens merge relatively seamlessly with the beach promenade. Even with the presence of a busy road, the bridge allows the visitors to walk safely to the seafront. Place attachment refers to the emotional bond between person and place. The thoughts, feelings, memories and interpretations evoked by a landscape help create a meaningful place. The gardens are more than just open space, they represent a heritage asset in their own right, full of frozen periods of time. The history of the gardens, apparent through the landscape design, historic structures and memorials, connects residents and visitors to times gone by. These features and place icons help strengthen place identity. Bournemouth Gardens bring nature into the heart of the urban fabric, providing an opportunity for interaction with nature and an attachment to the landscape and forming of a sense of place. The central location of the gardens ensures encounters with nature. The naturalness of the gardens varies along its course, with nature becoming more formal the closer you travel to the seafront. For many people, the gardens are a place in which to exercise. Bournemouth Gardens represent the green lungs of the town, encouraging time outdoors and a healthy lifestyle. However, much like Boston's Emerald Necklace in the US, whilst the gardens play an integral part in the daily life of local residents, the town's green lungs are also used as a marketing tool in the promotion of the area to tourists. Children's play areas encourage natural play and an interaction with nature, reinforcing place attachment and feelings of well-being. To ensure that people visit a space more than once and to help foster a sense of place and meaning, a space should be a positive sensory experience. The positive sensory experiences of the gardens enhance the enjoyment of the space as well as creating unique character. Despite the close proximity of the gardens to the busy roads and bustling streets, positive sensory stimulants such as the gentle trickling of water and sounds of birdsong disguise any negative sensory sounds and smells. Natural materials are present throughout the gardens, enhancing the biophilic quality of the space and inviting direct experiences for all senses. Public art contributes to the legibility of the garden space, making it easier for users to orientate themselves, which is important in the construction of a sense of place and place identity. Throughout history, art has made a valuable contribution to city space through monuments, sculptures, fountains, building details and decorations. This is reflected in the gardens in Bournemouth. The arts are a vital component of the Bournemouth placemaking agenda. They come alive once a year with a wealth of art installations and events organised by the Arts Institute. This event draws in visitors from all over, providing visual stimulation and excitement. The lower gardens come alive during the summer months, early autumn and at Christmas with events, festivals and markets. Events and activity help users to develop an attachment to the spirit of the place, as well as inviting people to express themselves, to exchange music, performance and to share talent. The lower gardens become an attractive musical place through the summer, full of the sounds of chatter, laughter, birdsong and music from the bandstand. They're often so busy in the summer that finding a space to sit can be a challenge. Whilst this spirit of place created by these events promotes positive feelings and attachment, organised events are used as a marketing tool promoting the gardens and Bournemouth itself as a brand. This raises the question, are the events there to promote a sense of attachment to place or to promote the town and draw visitors in for economic benefit? The central and upper gardens are left out of this organised activity, representing spaces more suited to the resident user. As highlighted by R.L. Fleming, it is more often the remembrance of human interaction that helps us to claim a physical locale. The children's play area is one example of memory formation and place association. Over time, memories collectively allow an individual to develop feelings of familiarity that comprise a sense of place. Once the sun goes down, the atmosphere of the gardens takes on a new form, which varies along the length of the garden space. The lower gardens remain attractive during the summer months well past sunset, with candlelit nights and events keeping activity levels high and creating a welcoming ambience. During winter, however, come nighttime, the gardens take on a much quieter form. There is often a lack of round-the-clock activity, with any activity limited to the chatter of people visiting local restaurants, bars and clubs along the edges of the garden space. The sense of vitality within the gardens themselves generally tends to disappear with the sun. This is also the same for the upper and central gardens, which become dark, less comfortable spaces at night, and tend to create a perceived lack of safety. Posting selfies and photographs to social media has grown in popularity in recent years and portrays an image of the gardens to the wider world. Social media is a tool for sharing how we see a place. Do we immerse ourselves within the environment when we're doing this, or within the image that we wish to portray to the outsider? In conclusion, the gardens are home to a variety of users and uses, catering for both the resident and tourist. They have evolved from the quiet pleasure gardens they were first designed for to become a successful and vital part of the Bournemouth marketing strategy. The ability of the gardens to connect users to periods of time and evoke memory and emotion is a key part of their success. The recognisable design of the gardens, its place attributes, and the events held there each year help foster a sense of place of relatedness and identity. Bournemouth Gardens represent a mix of existential insideness, where place is lived and dynamic, full with known meanings and reflection, and behavioural insideness, where place is an ambient environment, possessing qualities of landscape or townscape that constitute a primary basis for public or consensus knowledge of that place. Despite the apparent branding of the gardens and growth in social media, the space plays a part in the lives of local residents, reflecting the needs of the local community by providing space for relaxation, exercise, and social interaction, and reinforcing a connection with place and a sense of place identity. The historic place attributes and design of the place provides a platform for a variety of uses and the formation of a plurality of meanings. As Yangel notes, cities should be created by people and for people. Bournemouth Gardens appear to do this successfully.